ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Just Plain Living. I'm John Gray.
And I'm Jim Fuller. And I guess we're glad to be here today.
We are glad to be here today. We're Peggy-less.
Yeah, Peggy's off on an important mission. It actually is an important mission.
Yeah, I think her son Bart, General Burton, is taking another command. He's back from Korea and is taking a command here in the United States, which we're all very, very, very happy about because he's, Petraeus called him the Tony Soprano of Baghdad.
Really?
Yeah, in his book. Bart's been in Baghdad. He's been in the hot zones a lot.
He has.
And we're glad to have him back safe and sound and hope that he gets to stay in the United States.
Yeah, and who would have ever thought we would have ever known a general?
Well, that's true. Although we had Alan Harris on the show not too long ago.
That's right.
Tullahoma,
That's right.
Who's a general in the National Guard here in Tennessee, and a fine fellow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Married to Susan Leitner.
Yeah.
Both Tullahoma people, and they've moved back to town and are redoing a house in town. And we're glad to have them.
Absolutely.
Speaking of that, yesterday was Memorial Day. Excuse me, and just a second, and I know I speak for Jimmy and everybody else on the show and in our organization that we certainly do want to thank our veterans and the folks who step out there to protect us while we're able to sit here in the land of the free and the home of the brave. The only reason it's the home of the brave is because they're out there doing what they do. And we want to thank them very much, and we want to ask you folks, and starting with our country, from Washington all the way down, make sure these people are taken care of when they come home.
Absolutely.
We had a thing last weekend in Manchester for the Wounded Warrior, an event over there to raise funding, because just because these folks come home alive doesn't mean they're unchanged. And a lot of times these young men and women have physical and mental issues that they have to deal with after their service on our behalf, and we all need to do our part to see that they are cared for with honor and properly when they come back home.
Exactly. I was over in Manchester yesterday, and they had a big ceremony on the square over there, which was a really, really nice event over there, so my hat's off to them.
Got a little film of that we might be able to see later on?
We'll be able to see a little bit of that today. So,
Good.
They always really go all out for that event. By the way, occasionally in our business you get pet peeves about something. Somebody says something.
Everybody's business has pet peeves.
Somebody said to me over the weekend that, well, I'm just not into this red, white, and blue anymore because I don't like the president, and I don't like the way things are going, and come on, folks. This is not about the president, and it's not about your any political party. That's about the people who actually served. That's what Memorial Day is about.
Sure.
So, and died for this country. So.
And it's sort of like you gonna let one person run you out of your house?
Yeah.
Run you out of your country?
For goodness sakes, it's still America.
It's still America. Yeah. Alive and strong, and 4 years from now or 3 years from now there'll be another guy.
It'll be all different.
Somebody else you can be mad at.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
You don't let one person's actions take away your sovereignty in your own country, or make it to where you want to give it up. I mean, that's not right.
Exactly.
We're here, long, blue, tried and true.
That's right.
Red, white, and blue, the way down the line. So, hey. Basketball, professional basketball being played, baseball's being played. I know you're a big baseball fan. There's a couple of guys hitting home runs just at a torrent pace. Trout's one of them. That young Trout. Kid.
You've got me on this one because I haven't been following baseball a lot this year.
And the other one is Cabrera.
Yeah,
he's hitting it like nobody's ever hit it. And I think the guy is drug free. Well, you want to hope he is.
It'd be a whole lot more likely today than it might have been 20 years ago. Because,
Or 10 years ago.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. You know.
But the baseball is going on, and basketball, it's down to 4 teams, and every game they play is heated.
Yeah.
They're fighting, and they're having.
Memphis is out of that now, I think. They were in the playoffs. Memphis Grizzlies.
Did they lose last night?
Yes, they did.
They did, so that does
They're
it
done.
for them.
Yeah, they're done. Yeah. So.
Well, it's the first time they ever made it, the deal, so good for them.
Yeah.
It's just like a commercial I saw on television the other day. This little girl was walking around, and she'd been playing baseball, and she had a big frown on her face. And this woman walks up to her and said, "Why the frown?" She said, "Well, we lost." She said, "Well, did you get hit with the ball?" She said, "No." And the woman said, "Well, that's something to celebrate about. Go to Wendy's and get an ice cream cone."
Yeah.
You know, so just because you don't win, just think of what you did get to do.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Absolutely.
You know, Tullahoma High School baseball team didn't win the state tournament this year, but they made it all the way to the state, and
yeah, and most
first time since 2005 or something.
Yeah,
like
most
that.
wins ever in school history.
Yeah,
I think they won 35 games this year, lost 9.
Accomplished a great deal.
Yeah, they did, and you know they did that losing one of their biggest stars, and that was Jordan Sheffield. And you know, what if he hadn't have gotten that injury? I mean, you know.
Well, when you get to the point you're playing in a tournament like that, it all boils down to your pitching staff.
It's pitching, well, you know, and of course Jordan pitched, and,
right,
and will probably pitch in the major leagues. But you know, he and his brother are 1-2 punch. That's just it, having enough depth at pitching to get you through that kind of thing, especially the way the tournament is set up. Because
you're playing every day.
You're playing every day, and sometimes twice a day. You remember the day they got eliminated, they played twice that day, in the morning and in the afternoon. And in high school, it's tough to have the pitching depth.
Well, you have to have 3 days rest, don't you?
Yes, and there's a limit on the number of innings I think they can pitch over 3 days. So.
Right.
So
that makes it tough.
Yes, it does.
So they accomplished a great deal.
Yeah, they did. And to tell you the truth, though, I mean, certainly Justice Sheffield was the big star of the staff after Jordan got hurt. But to tell you the truth, there were some other good athletes on that team.
Oh, great athletes.
Other good pitchers as well. So,
yeah.
So
you don't make it that far without a team.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It is absolutely a team sport. And,
absolutely.
Yeah, we're very proud of the class of 2013 here in Tullahoma. The football team made it to the playoffs. Basketball team won the district championship. Mm-hmm. Baseball team won the district championship, made it to the state. Soccer won the district championship. I think volleyball won. There's 5, 6. Tennis won the district championship. They just about won them all.
Yeah.
So what a wonderful year! Great bunch of athletes.
Absolutely.
And that, you know, that's pretty much what it is when you win that type of stuff like that. You have to look, and the coaching's good and the support's good, but you look at who the athletes are. Mm-hmm. You just don't win without them.
Exactly.
And I know we've got good coaching, but you can't. It's hard to coach up a bunch of scrubs and take them to the state championship. It's just tough to do. Sandlot, those Sandlot Bad News Bears and all that. That's for movies.
Exactly.
What that's for.
It brings back memories of my illustrious baseball career and one of the highlights of my career when I played baseball was I think I made the All-Star team, but I wasn't very good at hitter. And a lot of you folks out there know Everett Hatfield, and his dad was a coach, and so it was late in the game and they couldn't do any better, so he put me up there to pinch hit. Then he calls timeout, and he calls me down to the third base line and said, "Fuller, I'm going to let you hit, but the only hope you got to get on is if they walk you, so don't you swing at nothing." So
how can you hit and not swing?
So, obviously they had a great deal of confidence in my hitting ability, so don't you swing at nothing.
Did you get on base?
I don't think so. I think
they struck you
they struck me out. So,
hard to get on base without swinging.
Yeah, that's right.
What else is going on? Anything else big and fantastic?
Well, I attended the mayor's bike ride. The mayor's got this big fitness thing going on, and he had a join with the Highland Rim Bicycle Club on Saturday and doing this bike ride through some neighborhoods over around Bel Air, I guess. I was there for the beginning of it, but which was a great idea, and the Highland Rim Bicycle Club's a super organization. Got a chance to talk to some of those people, but the mayor sure did look stupid in that hat and those shorts, Lane.
How tall a bicycle do you have to have for a guy that's 6'6"?
I don't know, but he doesn't own a bicycle, it turns out. But it turns out he got one from the police department. and so I don't know whether...
well, the chief's going to be up here in a minute.
I'll have to ask him, because maybe we've got officers that actually ride bicycles on patrol or something.
We have had before. I don't know whether that's still active or not.
It had Tullahoma Police Department written on it, so... Anyway, that was a lot of fun. By the way, you may remember Dusty Elam played football for the Manchester Red Raiders back when we did their show. They had a big fundraiser. Rusty was tragically killed in a motorcycle accident several years ago, back 2005, I think. And, they have a foundation they set up for Dusty to help underprivileged children in that area over there. His brother is kind of one of the...
Chris.
Chris Elam. He was a big running back star for the Red Raiders there in his high school career, but they raised like $50,000 this past this past weekend, or not this past weekend, weekend before last, and so that's quite an accomplishment. So
very good.
Yeah, did really good. Did really good.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do right now, folks. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to bring you back with the studio's filling up out here with great guests to bring some good information to you, from us to you, right here, right after this message.
Citizens Tri-County Bank has the checking, loans, savings, and traditional banking services you want. Plus free internet banking and bill pay, bank your change, Visa gift card, and lots more state-of-the-art banking services. We focus on the service and services you want, so you can bank when, where, and how you want, at our offices or from just about anywhere. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank you'll ever need.
What is Rotary? We're a network of people like you. In fact, we're the original social network. More than 1 million of us live just about everywhere you can think of. And we mean everywhere. We get together to exchange ideas, grow our businesses, and make new friends. We volunteer to help our own communities or someone else's. We're right around the corner. Come join us. The name is Rotary. Rotary International. You're welcome.
This facility was built literally on the international date line to bring Charter customers tomorrow's technology first. Like Charter Internet, which was just made faster again. With speeds up to 100 megs, you can download a movie in 2 minutes. The #1 internet service provider in the nation. Click.
Fogelman, good luck with the presentation tomorrow.
Already nailed it.
Get Charter Internet Express for only $19.99 a month.
Back to our segment we call Police Pointers, and we're pleased to have joining us today the star of this segment, Tullahoma Police Chief Paul Blackwell. Paul, it's good to see you today, and I think you recovered from the Memorial Day weekend. Okay,
had a good weekend. It's enjoyable to be able to spend time with family and friends and do some of the things that historically you do over a holiday. One of the things I really enjoyed doing yesterday, actual Memorial Day, is got up early, went to Oakwood Cemetery. I was the only one in the cemetery.
Yeah.
And got to walk around and read headstones.
Sure.
And, the Boy Scouts.
You do that too?
Well, not as a general habit, but because of the fact it was Memorial
Absolutely.
Day. And the Boy Scouts had gone and put out the flags at all of our veterans'
Right.
headstones. Just walked around and spent quiet time in the cemetery and,
Right.
Reading those. It's a history of every person.
It sure is, and I've done that before, so
and that kind of started my day off well.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the time was spent with family and primarily my wife and some close friends. And So it was very good.
Yeah,
but
outstanding.
didn't want to forget the whole purpose for the holiday.
Yes.
And again, that quiet time at the cemetery was just what we needed.
Right.
I needed. My father was a career Army, and have spent several years in the military. So it's a special day.
Yes, it is.
And I enjoyed it. Of course, I love coming back to work. So that's kind of why we're here today, is talking about work. Kind of what I want to talk about today is just our police department. We're about to end one budget year and enter into another budget year, and I just thought it'd be a good opportunity to share some general facts about the police department.
Okay.
And if you have any questions, we'll be glad to talk about that. Today we're bringing on 4 new people, 4 new officers. So we're excited to have them, and I'll tell you a little bit about them in just a second. But we actually have 37 police officers, 5 civilian employees, 9 crossing guards, and 7 reserves. So we've got a pretty good complement of people that serve this community. Of course, our police officers are the most visible, and so that's what I want to kind of talk about today. As I said, we brought 4 on today.
Are these new positions, or
people that had replaced people that had left for whatever reason?
Right.
But of the 37 officers, we've got 11 that are veterans. So that's, again, kind of in keeping with the holiday we just had. A lot of our veterans find themselves getting into law enforcement when their military career is over, and we welcome that. We like those kind of candidates. Of our 37 officers, 28 are married. So again, we've got family people that not only are serving our community, but they're raising their kids in our community with a law enforcement type of background. And we hope over the years some of their children will choose to get in law enforcement as well. Many of us seem to follow the example set by our parents.
Right.
And then of those 37 officers, we have 10 that have college degrees, be it associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, or a master's degree.
Right.
So again, the quality of our people is just exceptional.
Right.
And we've got a lot that are what I call homegrown, born and raised in Tullahoma, and that's what they've wanted to do, is serve the citizens of Tullahoma. So we've got an exceptional police department, and like I said, we're bringing on these 4 new ones today. 2 of them had prior law enforcement experiences in other agencies around here. One is a Marine. We don't want to say former Marine. He's just a Marine that's no longer in uniform.
Right. And
what's interesting about him is during his Marine Corps time, he was on the silent drill team, the precision drill team in Washington, and he also spent time at the White House on the White House detail. So this is a very exciting person to have on board, as well as the others that have some type of law enforcement experience. They're coming on board today. We hope to do a photo and have them in the paper. But Donnie Burnett is our Marine. Josh Yates was formerly with the Sheriff's Department, Coffee County. George Dotson was with the Sheriff's Department. And Justin Smith was with one of the agencies in Franklin County. So they're coming on board today, and they're going to be a part of our team. And we welcome them, and we want our community to welcome them. Sometimes people say, well, you got so many new people. And I say, well, we're a progressing department. We have about 50% that are under 10 years and about 50% over 10 years. And those that are over 10 years may be up there in that 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 year mark, where not too much longer, and they're going to be thinking about the next step in their life. So we've got to have some younger ones coming in.
They may be new, but a lot of them have experience, and they all have to go through the police academy.
Right. They all, if they come to us prior trained, we still put them into our training to make sure that they understand how we're doing it. But yes, they are. Some go through the academy. Some come to us with experience. So we may be getting new faces, but we also understand that we're building the police department of the future.
Right.
And we've got to keep looking that way.
Right.
So we've got an exciting department. We've got quality people, and they're here to serve Tullahoma.
You mentioned that you had some civilians that work in the police department. What sort of jobs do they fill?
4 of them work at the front desk. So when you walk in and you need information or a report, they're the ones that assist you. and they're 24/7. So we've got one always working.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And we call them PSOs,
Right.
public service officers.
Right.
They wear a different uniform, but they're there to specifically help the walk-in traffic,
Right.
answer the phone calls. And then we have an administrative assistant that deals with things like budget, personnel, those type of issues.
I see. You know, over the years, there's been talk of building a new police department, and I don't want to get you in some political issue here, but I know that one of the things that probably hampers you is the fact that you got to bring people in there sometimes and question them and stuff like that, and you really have nowhere to house them while you're
Right.
doing that. Is that a fact?
It's still a problem. The infrastructure is very important. Interview rooms, as you mentioned, they need to be somewhat soundproof. They need to be isolated. There's a lot of things that go into it. Little things like restrooms facilities, for the public and for our officers, and things, locker rooms,
Right.
adequate office space. All those are key elements that maybe back in the 50s when the police department was placed at City Hall, the department was much smaller. And much smaller, yes, in the neighborhood of about 10 people.
Yeah, exactly.
And, we've grown, we've tripled that size, and with that is our needs have expanded. Mm-hmm. So yes, our needs are still there from a building standpoint.
But we're basically still doing it with that 1950s physical space.
The layout is still the same. Yes.
And there are any prisoners in this county. You take them to the Coffee County Jail. Is that correct? So
Tullahoma used to have a city jail.
Right.
It's in the upstairs. But when you have a jail, there's so many requirements, both state and federal requirements, and that's manpower intensive, and so everybody we get goes to Coffee County.
Right. So I would imagine logistically that's somewhat of an issue because somebody's got to take them over there. Mm-hmm. So you're displaced out of the city while you do that. Is that?
And that's true. Not only on mileage. It's about a 10, 12, 15-mile trip. When the new jail opens, that's going to add a little bit more mileage to us. And we usually have 2 to 3 officers per shift go over there. So we are talking about some mileage and some time that it takes to transport someone over there.
You've got several vehicles in your fleet, but I doubt how many vehicles actually do you?
We've got a total of 44 vehicles.
Okay.
And if you do the numbers, you'll say, well, you had 37 officers and you
Right.
have 44 vehicles. And obviously those are backup vehicles.
Right.
We take pride in our maintenance program. Our
Right.
cars are serviced. We try to get the most mileage out of them we can. So if one car is in service, we have to have a car available
Exactly.
for someone to use. So we have to have a pool, and and we keep them for about 7 years. 7 years is about our turnover rate, and each officer has a car, which allows us to go 7 years. When an officer has their own vehicle, they take care of it.
I was going to ask you,
better.
does that work out better than?
Much better.
Yeah. Okay.
I kind of grew up in the law enforcement where you shared a car. 3
Right.
people shared one car, and it's frustrating when you get in and it's out of gas.
Yeah.
Or it's got garbage in it, or someone's spit cup, and
Yeah.
all this. But when they have their own car, they're taken care of much better. They last longer, and the end result is we don't have a lot of maintenance issues.
I see. Okay. All right. Plus the officers are ready to go at a moment's notice.
They are. We
Imagine
can call them
they're
out from
home.
their house and to go to a certain location.
Right.
So
And I guess
it's a
that
win.
happens occasionally too, doesn't
It does, or if they go to court, they can just leave from their house and go to court.
Right.
Do what they need to do if we have training somewhere, and it just seems to work out much better for us.
Okay. Unfortunately, we're out of time again, Chief. And, I have this list of reserved questions that I've had ever since we started this segment. I never seem to get to them. But anyway.
Well, maybe next time we'll just make this question and answer on your end.
Oh, you're doing good with what you're doing.
Thanks for having me.
So much.
Thank
We
you, thank
appreciate
you.
it. We'll be right back in just a moment with more living following these messages.
And it was our bite.
It's time to celebrate. You don't have to drive to the city for your party supplies anymore. The Celebrate Party Store has opened at 1802 North Jackson Street in Tullahoma to service all your party needs. Over 300 varieties of balloons, party favors, gift wrap, boxes, bags, bows, plates, napkins, tablecloths, and cups of all colors. Catering supplies from utensils to serving dishes, Wilton cake decorating supplies, and chocolate melts. Wedding, baby shower, bachelorette party, and themed birthday party supplies from any sport to Hollywood. From a luau to Hello Kitty, Celebrate has it all. Hats, masks, patriotic decorations, piñatas, confetti cannons, and full-size celebrity cutouts, and a whole wall of greeting cards at 50% off. Celebrate is home-owned and operated by John and Karen Orr, who invite you to come in and see what they have. You won't believe your eyes because they have it all. Start your celebration at Celebrate, 1802 Suite 820, North Jackson Street, Tullahoma, 931-455-5550.
Charter Internet has the bandwidth to support more devices than anyone else in the market. So everyone can do their own thing, whether it's watching puppy videos or creating an all-powerful command center to mastermind the complete domination of the world, the universe, and... ooh, ice cream!
Get 30 megabits per second for only $30 and let it all in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and we have a friend up here with us today that we haven't seen since he came on as the pie guy, and that's Chuck Mangino. And he, at that point, had pie down to where you could
forward or backwards.
Forward to backwards, any number.
1,346 numbers forward and backwards. I was ranked number 35 in the world ranking, and number 9 in the nation at that time.
Which is amazing.
Well, thank you.
Which is amazing.
A little bit after my TV show I shot here, I was on America's Got Talent, auditioned in Nashville. They saw what I could do. They had me in front of the camera 6 times in Nashville, put me ahead of the line, automatically put me on the show in Atlanta. I shot the TV show in Atlanta with Jerry Springer in 2008, season 3. And I didn't get the prop I wanted. I only got 100 numbers. I said, well, I got to have 1,000 numbers. I mean, that's like juggling with one ball, you know, instead of 6 balls. I said, I've got to have 1,000. They said, we can't do it this short a notice. So, yes, I got X'd. And,
okay.
But I got my little 15 minutes of rock star in life.
Well,
so.
you know, and we bring that up to set the stage for the next deal here, to remind you how bright a man Chuck is. You've started working on, because of the devastation that's happening in our country with tornadoes,
yes,
tearing things up. You know, you turned your insight and your mind toward thinking of a way that you might help prevent that.
Yes, I recently have 2 videos on YouTube that I've shot. I shot them at the Hands-On Science Center. The first one I made was just about an anniversary. I had 2 friends that were killed in 27th of April 2011 in Phil Campbell, Alabama. And 2 dear friends, and I helped them a lot for free in the gospel music industry, for free in their television show. And wouldn't take no money for it. I don't take no money for it. And they says, we got to pay you back. So they called me, and they says, well, we're going to have your grandmother on our show for a whole hour. It's her favorite show in the her whole life. And it said, to show our gratitude, we're going to show you. And they did. They had my grandmother on there for a whole hour. And it was priceless. You can't put a price on that.
No.
But in 2011, in Phil Campbell, Alabama, they both got killed in that tornado. And in the 2 or 3 days later, I looked at the YouTube damage and so forth, and saw the Phil Campbell damage, and all my other families from Russellville, Alabama. I love it, and it's just devastating. As far as you could see, was nothing. So I was in a tornado in 1998 with my daughter and 2 of her friends coming back from Alabama, and then from 1998 to December 2006, I always, every day, for just a thought, I thought, how would I stop one if I had to stop one? My mind every day, you know. I'd had something in 1968 when I was in the 5th grade, when I was 10 years old at Bel Air. Start of a science class. They said, any questions before we started studying tornadoes today? And it's like, have you ever thought about stopping one? Because at that time, they were just starting to understand them.
Right.
You know, 1968. I was only 10. So the hour goes by, and I raise my hand, and it's like, I've got a solution. What if you put an airliner like a TWA or Pan Am or something like that, and put oven eyes all on one side, and fly it before the tornado forms, and prevent it from happening? Well, everybody laughed and everything. I mean, nobody understood me. I mean, since I was 4, nobody understood the questions or anything I was asking or saying. But they call it computational fluid dynamics now. They call it quantum physics now. They call it chaos theory of mathematics. You know, just how many drops are in the swimming pool, you know, type thing. But anyway, nobody understood me. Well, they do now. Yeah. The pi thing really kind of brought it out, because it's like, wow, look what this guy. And I don't even try. When I do that, I don't try. I just kind of do it, you know. I always have. But anyway, in December 2006, I came up, I was sitting drinking some hot chocolate. I just got through telling the story of being in the tornado of 98, surviving it. And what had happened, after telling that in detail, I was drinking some hot chocolate. There was a little marshmallow in there, and then I was throwing it around. And it reminded me of a refrigerator box that was flying around about 40, 50 feet up in the air until it got caught up in a tree. Right. There's just certain little significant things you should remember about that. And I just had I call it a Chucky moment. And I thought, I heated this hot chocolate up, this coffee, hot chocolate with this marshmallow, with a microwave, which has got a magnetron in it. What if I could prevent, based on my theory, solution? Yeah, stove-eye. And the funny thing about that, I'll say real quick, was I drew a picture of it, and I had an extension cord that was 10 or 20 miles, because I had no concept of the power coming from the, because you had to have power. I knew that. But anyway, so it hit me right there. That was sitting on that bench with that hot chocolate is when it hit me. You know, I had a Chucky moment. I thought, I controlled this. I heated this up. That little vortex of steam coming out of that hot chocolate and that marshmallow going back, I'm controlling it now. And that's when I had a flashback to 1968. So I started studying masers, not lasers, but masers, magnetrons, cloud structure, and really went in depth. Think of the show, the movie A Beautiful Mind. I had stuff all over the walls, calculations, patterns. I'm really big into patterns. I actually came up with 6 different patterns to manipulate the cloud structure before it touches down. So anyway, about June of 2010, I just took everything down because nobody was listening, and there was no passion then. There was no real reason to pursue it. To make a long story short, my friends got killed in 2011, and that's when I made the first video, the one that's on there now, that year, a year later. I made it like the 7th of April, 2012, started the Stopping a Tornado Initiative by myself. And but that was also on the Day of No Hope. If you look at Christianity and the Easter, when I made that video, that was the Day of No Hope, is when I made it. So everything is significant. I do everything for a reason. So anyway, what happened, so I made that video, and of course I get plus and minuses from it. But
from who?
From all kinds of people.
Other scientists?
Yeah, I'm receptive. At first, when I talk to an engineer or scientist, at first they're going to say it's impossible, and I know that. But after 45 minutes of listening to the video, my brother's getting the same thing. He helped co-found a business years ago called Avtech. It dealt with computational fluid dynamics for jet engines. Very, very high-tech, very way ahead of its time. Unbelievable. And he's asked a lot of people that he knows in that field, and they says that one day it can be possible. This can happen. Now, not now, but one day, because your Moore's Law is getting more and more computer is more advanced, technology is advanced, I see the next generation of having a group of elite, intelligent, passionate type students, like the STEM programs they have now, the science, technology, engineering, and they don't have to be storm chasers. They can pursue this on their computer or on paper or whatever, brainstorming or whatever, and say, okay, guys, we're going to take Chuck's challenge. This is going to be a whole new mentality. You know, when I was young, nobody run 4-minute mile, couldn't dunk a basketball, now everybody's doing it. Break that out of the box. That's what I'm famous for, that out-of-box thinking, is challenge it. Go into it. Okay, say, okay, we're going to do this here. It's just like in the video, the first, I have 2 videos. One is stopping a tornado, and that's preventing it from hitting the ground, the funnel from coming down and actually touching down and becoming a tornado. The second one is to stop one when it's on the ground. If it's already on the ground, I have come up in my way, my electrician, I'm just a simple electrician, 1976 graduate of Tullahoma High School, that's all I am. I took a class at Motlow, Introduction to Engineering, one class of engineering class, and just absorbed it. Just made such a big difference there at Motlow. But anyway, take the challenge.
Yeah.
Say, hey, look, okay, this is what we're going to do. You know, we're going to face this. We're going to break it down into mathematical models. We're going to study the effect of masers, the waveguides coming out. There's 747s and jets that have got radar antennas. They even had a space shuttle on 747, so you can strap a maser on there.
Sure.
And think of when I say maser, think of your microwave oven heating up a cup of hot chocolate or water, you know. But I broke everything down into in the video where it's real super basic. I don't go into no super details. I don't go into no calculations. I don't, cloud structure, nothing. It's just very, very basic. It's 10 minutes long. I shot it at Hansel Science Center. That's where I got my first start on TV, when I was doing the reciting of the numbers of pi, which again, I'm grateful for that also. And then I shot both videos there. But this is the challenge, I'm stating today. It's like, I believe God gives us intelligence to do things. He does not want us to be weak. He does not want us to be dumb. This is my personal Southern Baptist, belief. He wants us to be strong. He wants us, to stand up to adversity, to oppression. And I know.
And tornadoes.
And tornadoes, yeah. And
which he sent down here. So.
Yeah, after seeing the Oklahoma devastation, I took off the whole week of last week and made phone calls. I finally got something into Tennessee, and y'all called me, and I greatly appreciate having this time. And it's just making a difference. It's like now, let's turn this thing around. This, this is technology. 21st century technology. Moore's Law.
I still like the stove eyes on the side of the porch.
Yeah, the extension cord.
I'll have that in my mind from now.
And there was a couple of students that laughed, and I said, well, what's so funny about the extension cord? They says, well, it's 10 miles long. I said, well, you got to have power to it.
Chuck Mangino, folks. Yeah. One of the smartest guys I've ever been around.
Thank
Chuck,
you, sir.
Thanks for spending time with us, buddy.
The opportunity. I appreciate it.
I hope you continue to pursue this and stop the death and destruction.
That's my objective.
There you go.
Folks,
we'll be back right after these messages.
Let the Smokehouse be your mountain getaway destination in beautiful Monteagle, Tennessee. Enjoy our cabins, restaurant, and old general store. Shop thesmokehouse.com, featuring homemade barbecue sauces, jellies, and many other fine Tennessee products. Our live Music on the Mountain series features some of the best local and Nashville talent every Friday and Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. No cover, kids welcome.
The highest standard of trust offers a sense of safety and comfort. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of trust in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, Life Care Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. Life Care, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
Your family's favorite shows shouldn't have to fight to be seen. With Charter, you get 4 DVRs, so now every family member can watch what they want, when they want, where they want, without any battles. Call now to get DVR service for your home.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're pleased to have joining us now Meryl Meadows, who is with the Tullahoma Recreation Department, and big things are happening there. An event, really, I guess we look forward to all year long.
Yes, there is. We have our Soapbox Derby, and I believe it's the 14th Soapbox Derby. It'll be June 1st. Down Lincoln Street.
Down Lincoln Street.
So I invite everybody to come on out and watch this. It's a free event to watch. Just bring your little sun umbrella or something like that, and watch those kids experience the thrill of the hill.
Yeah, and the umbrella is probably a good idea because this thing lasts all day, doesn't it? I mean,
yes, it
pretty
does.
much all day to get it in.
Yes, we have. Actually, we start at 3 o'clock in the morning setting it up, and fortunately I only have to get there at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
But generally it's a nice hot day out there, and just enjoying watching the kids go down, and it's just a good thing for Tullahoma to have. We're one of 3 cities this year that has it. Normally Cookeville has a Soapbox Derby, but this year they're not doing it, so they're joining us. So we have some out-of-towners coming to experience
Which
Tullahoma.
will probably add to the number of entries.
Adds to the number of entries, and just makes really a really good challenge. You know, some of the kids who usually compete now have other people to compete against. So gives you a little challenge on the thrill of the hill there.
How many entries do you typically have?
This year we'll probably run about 50, maybe a little more, because we also have the Super Kids division, and that's for special needs kids, and this will be our 4th year doing that. Really, that's kind of the one I really love to just go and watch, because you have these kids get to compete, and that's a Super Kids car right there. We have 2 new Super Kids cars this year that we have now that have been, we've had some donations to purchase these cars, and they are in the process. You can see there's a dual steering wheel there with a safety harness on the right-hand side. We have an experienced driver, generally a master's driver who's not driving, or maybe they're also driving. They're master's division, but they can drive both cars, and we get the kids in there and they get to go down the hill, experiencing it, and just watching the faces at the bottom of the hill, because that's where I am at the finish line.
Yes.
You know, watching those kids come down, and then they too get to go to Akron as well for the National Super Kids
No
race.
kidding. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Yes, they do. That started out, I can't remember what year they're in that might be their 8th year for doing that. They started out slowly, and they would tell us that we could send 2 kids if we wanted to up there, but now they're just saying 1 child, so they've reached their maximum of 100 kids, and that's great, because you know, that's all volunteer up there to do that. So the kids get to go up, and families get to participate in things together. Generally, as we've done the Super Kids along with our other, we've had brothers and sisters competing in the other divisions, but now they're able to also share the race day with their other brother or sister who's got a challenge, a physical or mental challenge. So it's great. It's a great thing.
Are these cars for the Super Kids, are they the same kind of cars as the other kids compete with, or are they modified?
No, they're modified because it's a dual driver. Right. It's a tandem driver, and the brake pad is on the one side, on the master's driver, whoever's driving the children. But we also have the steering wheel there, so the kids can get a kind of a hang of it and do it going down the hill. And also, it's a wider, heavier car. There's not a minimum weight distribution that we have, such as like in the stock, super stock, and master's car. We just have an upper limit on the weight of the child. They can't be more than 185 pounds for safety reasons, just in case there's a sudden stop. So
there's I think a nice story about how they have to put these cars together, and it gives families an opportunity to work with them. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the Soapbox cars, the other cars, every child has to come in with a parent or guardian and take the car apart, put it together, get the proper weight, because you can't be over certain weights in your division. And you have to weigh the car and the child. For instance, stock division is a 200-pound limit. Can't go over it. You can be under it. But, with the car and the child, you kind of want to be at that 200 pounds, so you can make it down the hill, because the heavier you are, the faster you'll go.
Right.
So all the kids get the hands-on experience working on it, and it's good to see parents helping the kids too, because it's a good family thing to get involved in, and you're teaching kids about taking something apart, a little bit of the engineering, going down the hill, where you place yourself going down that hill too, because in the morning the right side of the track is faster, and in the afternoon the left side of the track is faster.
Does that have to do with heat?
Probably has to do with heat and asphalt and just how the angle of the sun is hitting it, and also with the manhole covers. You got to kind of watch where you're going down the hill.
Right.
But with the paving on there, this will be an interesting race this year, because they resurfaced it, and and also cars groove out going up and down that road, so the child has to kind of determine where the best spot is to go down that hill. So and it's not like you really steer these cars like you do a regular car. It's kind of move it and hope it goes in that direction.
Right.
And every child has the same opportunity. We do a winner's bracket and a loser's bracket. So even if you lose your first heat or something, you're not out of the game. You get to go on to the loser's bracket, and we've had the loser's bracket person actually become one of our champions. So it happens.
Oh, and that makes it interesting, because you're not out the first early in the morning. You get to stay there the rest of the day, and kids keep going and going and going, and the more they do it, the more they like it. So it's a good thing to do, because, like I said, you get the family involvement, and it's just something that Tullahoma should be proud of, because it's something that we do that not many cities across the United States do. You mentioned only 3 in Tennessee.
Only 3 in Tennessee this year, because Cookeville's not doing theirs.
Yeah.
I think it's Athens and maybe Crossville. I can't think of the other city, but this is something to be proud of.
Are these cars passed on to generations, or rather to after you get too big to compete? Do they usually pass on?
Well, sometimes you get sometimes the families do, but all cars tend to age out at a certain point, and so they have to be retired. And we're always asking folks, if you want to get your child involved in this, go to the Soapbox Derby website, which is aasbd.org. That's allamericansoapboxderby.org. Or just type in Soapbox Derby. You'll get there one way or the other. Or you can always call me at 461-1080. I think I say that phone number in my sleep. So, and I can talk
everybody
to you about
in town knows.
Everybody in town. When people, what's your home phone? I'm like, I don't remember. So, but I encourage everybody to come on out and watch it. Usually we have some food vendors there, and we appreciate all the vendors and all the store owners who put up with us this one day out of the year, blocking off their business on the first Saturday in June, and that's when we always have it. So, Sunshine Shop is always great too. They always slice up some watermelon or cantaloupe and bring it out to us, because we're about ready to faint from the heat.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So it's a good thing to have.
You guys have had a lot of success, have you not? People from Tullahoma, this area, have won at the national level.
At the national level, yes. And it's not just something you go up in your race and you win and ooh, that's it. There's scholarship money involved when you get to that point. And it's really interesting. Sometimes you wonder who's competing, the kids or the parents.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I have a behavior modification for that.
Yeah.
But it's good though. I mean, it's all a fun time. And we have the building clinics this week. If you're curious about just what it's about, come on up to CD Stamps between noon and 9, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week, as we're having our building clinics where everybody's taking their cars apart and getting reweighed.
Yeah.
Or just come on out Saturday morning. Come say hi. Come on down to the finish line and say hi to me. I always love to meet everybody in Tullahoma. So, and if you have any questions, give me a call at 461-1080.
All right. And this is coming up. What was the date again?
June 1st, first Saturday in June.
First Saturday in June. Well, that would be next Saturday,
it's coming Saturday.
So it's upon us. Meryl, thank you so much for coming by.
Oh,
it's always
pleasure.
a pleasure to talk to you. All right, we'll be right back with more living following these messages.
There we go.
On the train test range, the search for any possible weakness continues. It's hard to stop a train. really hard. Trane, the most reliable for a reason.
Hello, my name is Joe Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration. I'm here to talk to you about a couple incentives that are going on between now and the end of the year. First is your federal tax credit up to $300. Secondly, 0% financing up to 15 months on XL products. Third, spring promotion up to $1,100. Finally, $500 incentives from your local power distributor. Please give us a call at 455-8757. Thank you.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors, and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Cove Lake, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Martin Wheatley, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, Rugby in the Big South Fork, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
If you like HDTV, you're going to like what Charter's been up to. Adding so much free HD that Charter TV is a whole new experience. National Geographic HD, Animal Planet HD, Discovery HD, Sports in HD, movies, news, kids programming. Plus, Charter now has thousands of free movies and shows in HD on demand anytime. You want to see more TV in HD? Try Charter. It's smarter.
All right, folks, we're back and proud to have with us today a young man, Jason Davis, and he is with Mad Sam, and they are working along with a Contact Lifeline in the issue of suicide.
Absolutely. Good morning. Thank you very much for having us on.
How are you this morning?
Fantastic, sir.
Give us there's your window to the world right there. So you let them, you fill them full of info.
Absolutely. Well, as my good friend said, I'm Jason Davis, and I'm part of the Mad Sam organization. Mad Sam is an acronym for Making a Difference Suicide Awareness Movement, Mad Sam. We wanted a short and sweet and catchy name, so Mad Sam just last year we did our first suicide awareness program over in Franklin County, and it was called Franklin County Out of the Darkness Suicide Walk, and had a great first year grassroots effort, raised almost $10,000 first year to bring a greater awareness to Southern Middle Tennessee for the subject of suicide.
And what triggered? What triggered this? Was the trigger the fact that there are a lot of kids in this area committing suicide?
There's a ton, and I'll get to that in just a second. Okay. I'm glad you brought that up. My professional role is I'm a funeral pre-arrangement specialist. I provide a service that helps folks pre-arrange their funeral services. And early last year, I met with a young lady in Winchester who just she poured her heart out to me during a sales appointment. She just started talking about losing her dad to suicide and a brother to suicide and a few other family members. And she said she just wanted to do something. She had a dream to get some kind of program together to make a difference in the suicide numbers of the area. And I thought, well, you know, that's perfect. That's perfect for me to pour my heart into. I've not lost anybody close to me to suicide. I lost a great uncle when I was a little boy, and that was by marriage, and certainly respected him and loved him. But I've not lost anybody close to me to suicide. But you know, my interest in it is I want to prevent other people from going through this tragedy. And suicide is definitely a tragedy. Getting back to the numbers. Tennessee's suicide rate is 20% higher than the national average.
Really?
That's huge. That's huge. That's according to the Tennessee Suicide Prevention Network. And that's a statistic that we don't want to be proud of being higher than the national average.
No.
You know. TSPN says that the rural markets are much more at risk for suicide rates because of the lack of social involvement opportunities and the lack of behavioral and mental health facilities. Specifically in that number, the highest demographic that is at risk for suicide are males age 85 and older for whatever reason. Now let me dial it down a little bit further and see how this number hits you. Contact Lifeline, their data shows that Franklin County has the highest youth suicide rate in the state, followed by Lincoln County in second place. And that's tragic to me. That's sad. You know, I mean, why are our kids wanting to give up on a beautiful life? You know, so we got together, and we've got a leadership team of 10 to 12 passionate individuals that really want to make a difference. We've got some good things going. Last year, we partnered with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, which is much more on a federal level. This year, we decided we want to focus more on a local level, and Contact Lifeline was the perfect organization to do that.
Yeah, because they over the years have had a youth-oriented program.
They've got
where kids talk to other kids, because kids a lot of times don't want to talk to an adult.
Absolutely.
If they could talk, if they felt like they could talk to an adult, they wouldn't be in the situation they're in.
Right.
And it's easier for them to talk to a kid. And you're right, Contact Lifeline is a perfect match for
Absolutely.
this.
Absolutely. They were involved with us last year. They got on board and was actually at the walk handing out literature and material, and the whole group there, Ella and David and everybody along with that organization, is top-notch, compassionate people that really want to make a difference. They're not just lip service, if you will.
Yeah. Now, so how does a person get to you or get in touch with your organization to be involved?
Great question, and thank you for bringing that up. The easiest way, we're on Facebook, and we're listed simply as Mad Sam, M-A-D-S-A-M.
I love that name.
Mad Sam on Facebook. We post daily all the good stuff, and we post positive quotes and information about local resources, and we post warning signs, and we talk about what's going on as we lead up to our walk, which is currently scheduled October the 5th. I don't mind putting my number out there. I'm Jason Davis once again, and my number is 691-0629. But the bigger number is Contact Lifeline. If there's anyone out there right now that's having some troubles, and you just don't think there's any way out, please, I encourage you to reach out to Contact Lifeline. Their toll-free, 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week hotline is 1-800-454-8336. That's 1-800-454-8336. They've got some caring and compassionate and confidential professionals on the other end of that phone line that can really offer you some help through a difficult time.
And walk you through, you away from it.
Absolutely.
And that's what's important. Jason, thank you for spending your time with us today.
Thank you so much.
And spending your time doing this very, very worthwhile project. And I hope and wish for you all the success in the world, because a life saved is a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
All right. Folks, we'll be right back after these messages.
You've won just about everything there is to win in racing. What's next?
I'd like more people to know about ER Extra.
The emergency room at Harton Regional Medical Center?
I just want them to get the best care they can get.
That just gets me right here, Mark.
Maybe you'd like to pay them a visit.
ER Extra at Harton Regional Medical Center.
ER Extra. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
When you see the sign, The Main Event, take a close look inside at a hair studio that offers services by some of the best master stylists in Middle Tennessee. These stylists offer a list of services that compete with large city salons, from trendy cuts for men, women, and children to the latest color techniques, including highlights and bold color accents. Other services offered include permanent hair weaving and relaxing to formal hairstyle for that special occasion. You can also give yourself a very special treat with a full makeover, including full body waxing. For your convenience, we are open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until the last client leaves happy. Call and make your appointment at 931-571-8682 or stop by our Tullahoma location at 207 North Jackson Street. Pamper yourself at the main event today.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Click the links.
Oh, sweet Lisa, you're so fine, like a very fine wine. Girl, I need you in my life. Will you be my wife?
Charter Internet has more bandwidth to support all your devices. Experience the power of Charter on the nation's fastest internet.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're pleased to have joining us now County Mayor David Pennington, who is always a pleasure to have around because not only is he the county mayor, he's a good friend of mine, so it's always nice to talk to him as well.
Well, I'm glad to be here with you. I told you earlier before we started this segment here that I miss being over here.
Yeah, David did a segment called Coffee County Memories and More with Mayor Superstein from Manchester for a couple of 3 years here, and we may have to revive that again.
Well, me and you're working on another project.
Yeah, we're working on another project right now. A couple of things happening in the county right now, David. The new jail. What is the progress of the new jail?
They broke ground. You know, of course, they got started late, so we had to wait for the season to be right. You know, it has rained quite a bit. What somebody said, 10 inches in last month or something. I don't know, but enough that it kind of.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they're high and dry, and they've already broke ground, and by August, about the mid-August, we should be in that new jail.
I was wondering, you know, there was this issue came up in the legislature this past year about judicial redistricting. Would that have impacted that jail to any extent that it might have been prisoners might have been housed longer than normally? It wouldn't. It wouldn't.
Okay. All it would have done was just change the district that some of the judges would have had to serve in.
Okay. All right.
You know, if you get 1129, you're still going to get 1129.
Okay. Yeah.
And of course, you know, they do the jail, this new jail, and they're doing it now with the old one. They house some state prisoners, you know, because the state don't have no place to put them.
Exactly.
But you know, I was thinking the other day, isn't it amazing that we just keep building more jails and more prisons, and it don't seem like the problem's solved, is it?
Exactly, because the jail that we've got now used to be quite adequate, I think, at one time. But now I think I was talking to Sheriff Graves one time, and he said that, number one, we're getting a lot more women prisoners than we used to have, and so many of them are drug-related that didn't used to be happening.
And the design of the jail, too, of course, if the sheriff was here, he could speak more about it, but it's an old design where you can't see the people. This new jail will be a pod system where one person can actually see every cell.
Exactly.
You know, which is going to be entirely different than what you got now. To physically see the people now, you have to walk the halls.
Exactly.
And that's a lot of manpower.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, it's something we've needed for a long time, so I know you're excited about doing that.
I tell everybody, you know, they had the opportunity in 1998 to build a jail, but they chose to build a workout to take some relief, off of that. And, you know, and then, you know, in 2002, they talked about building a school. So it seems like when I took over as mayor, I ended up, you know, and I don't mind that. I mean, I tell people I'm not a politician. I'm a public servant. I'm serving other people. And serving other people is going to be the one that, whether you're going to get the heat from the public because you're doing it, you go ahead and do it because it's the right thing to do. And a politician, And I have known a few politicians. They just keep pushing things off.
Well, I have to give you credit. You haven't pushed it down the road.
No,
so it's
and I
getting dealt
don't
with.
think that's the right way to do the people.
And there's some issues, real quick, because I want to talk about Bonnaroo here in a second.
Well, we'll talk as long as you want to.
Well, they'll cut me off back there.
I don't know how they could cut you off.
Well, they
You're
do.
the star of this
I'm not
outfit.
sure how that works, but you are doing some things relative to schools as well, I believe.
You know, like I said, in 2002, they was talking about doing the school building program, which was about $32 million. Of course, we're winding down. We're building a middle school now, and that's going to wind down a $44 million school building program that was done by a sales tax increase that the people voted for, which was a smart thing to do.
Right. And your new, I think it's Deerfield, opened up just recently?
Yeah.
About a year ago?
Yes,
Okay, so
we've solved two problems there, and that is the jail and also the school system.
Okay.
Which is two big problems. The jail was $22 million.
I'd say that's
But
big,
you know what? You got to have it.
Yeah.
You got to have it. There's no way around it.
Exactly. All right, and before look at them over there, David. They're telling us we got 3 minutes. Okay, all right.
We want to talk about Bonnaroo?
We won't talk about Bonnaroo because I think Bonnaroo's coming up in 2 weeks, and some of the guys here in the studio.
Wait a minute, I hear a lot of cheering.
I do too. But and that's because they go out there and party for 3 days.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, but besides that, this is something that's pretty important to people that live in our county because of the economic impacts of Bonnaroo. Can you talk a little bit about what?
You think about this, probably about 4 years ago, they done a study, or 5, and the economic impact was $20 million. This latest economic impact is 51.1 million, isn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah, 51.1. Boy, we're doing good, Jim.
Well, we got it written down here.
Yeah, and if you look at that, 36 million of that is a direct impact of the county.
Right.
And then 15 is an indirect through some jobs that it creates, the sales tax, the gas tax, and so it's a big deal.
It was also interesting here that this study, by the way, was done by Gray Hill Advisors, and that when Bonnaroo's, when they were here, Coffee County is, I guess it's the city of Manchester is the 7th largest city in the state.
Yes.
With all the people that Bonnaroo
we
brings.
were the 6th, and I think Murfreesboro knocked us out.
Right, which is like. Bonnaroo brings in about somewhere 85 to 100,000 people, something like that.
Well, they got 10,000 workers.
No kidding.
Part-time, 10,000.
Right.
That's when you say that number of people like you, they're in shock. 10,000.
Yeah, 10,000. Yeah,
that's a lot of work.
That is a lot of.
Of course,
workers.
that's a lot of volunteers too. You got all the civic organization.
Exactly.
And if we can jump ahead here, just think about the civic organizations. Bonnaroo plugs in about 200,000 where they go out there and help and. We're talking about like the chambers and there's all kinds of different civic organizations. That's their 1 year thing.
A lot of them that fund their whole project for the entire year over what they make off of Bonnaroo. And 200,000, David mentioned earlier that if Bonnaroo doesn't bring that in here, doesn't come here and let people make that money, then they're going to be
they're going to be hitting you up as a citizen or as a business person or as the mayor.
Right.
So that actually takes 200,000 out of the picture that's generated by tourists, really.
Exactly.
Festival goers.
Right.
Some other interesting facts about that, and you got your list there. Where was it that we just looked at? Oh, yeah, here it is. On the average, the Bonnaroo attendees in Bonnaroo spends about $86 a day.
Mm-hmm. But $86 a day, right?
Yeah, $86 a day, and then $28 is generated outside the county. But here's an interesting thing: $35 per day is spent. Now we're talking times 80-something thousand people.
Exactly.
Per day is spent outside the festival grounds in Coffee County.
Right.
Which is good.
Which is huge.
Yes. And where was that other statistic we found about the percentage? It was over on this other page, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, about the.
Jim and I just started looking at this. Talk about that first bullet point there about the festival. About the different age groups?
Well, like 40% of the people that come to Bonnaroo are 25 to 34 years old. 31% are like 21 to between 21 and 24. And 8% of the festival goers are over the age of 35.
And here's a key factor.
The attendees earn in excess of $75,000 per year.
Yeah, 1 in 4.
1 in 4, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty huge.
Yeah.
You know what? You have sat here and talked us out of a show. It's over. See that big X?
See, David's been here before. He knows what all these signals out there mean.
Well, I guess I'm about to come back. We'll have to talk more about other things.
I think so. I think they shortchanged us today,
well,
David.
That's all right.
I know they called David up at the last minute and said, David, we need your help today.
Yeah.
And then
I enjoy coming over here.
Anyway.
Of course, this is my second trip today. I was over here this morning at another meeting.
And I think you've got another event today.
Yeah, I've got to go speak to the retired federal employees.
Right.
So we'll be busy today.
Okay. All right. David, one thing I always admire about David, he is the mayor for the entire county, not just
That's exactly
just
right.
hang out in the northern end of the
That's
county.
Right. That's exactly what I was elected to do, to cover the whole county.
That's right. David, thank you so much. We've got lots more to talk about, and we'll do that at another time. Right now, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back in a moment with more living.
Looking for a unique gift for someone special, or perhaps something just for yourself? Then you need to check out Grady Mac Denim Company, right here in the heart of Tullahoma. Grady Mac features the full line of men's and women's Lucky brand apparel. Stop in and check out our denim production line. Grady Mac offers a full line of outdoor sporting apparel and much more. And check out our custom fly fishing equipment, fine art, and signed sports memorabilia. There's something for everyone at Grady Mac Denim Company, the most unique store in Tullahoma.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
The Charter Triple Play lets you experience TV, internet, and phone the way you want with no contracts. Hooked on HD? Now over 100 HD channels available. Movie lover? Get 10,000 on-demand movies and shows. 1,500 in HD, including movies in 3D. Missing your favorite shows? Record and watch TV with DVR service for 4 rooms and over 780 hours of storage space. Get Charter TV for $29.99 a month. Photo Fiend, Music Fan, Video Streamer? Switch to super fast Charter Internet and do it all with the bandwidth to support all your devices. At 30 megabits per second, Charter Internet is 10 times faster than the phone company's DSL. Get Charter Internet for $29.99 a month. Want more talk for less? Charter Phone has unlimited long-distance calling with no added fees like the phone company charges. Get Charter Phone for $29.99 a month. The new Charter Triple Play. TV, internet, and phone for just $29.99 a month each when bundled. Call 855-81-T-PLAY now.
All right, folks, welcome back. I've got my buddy up here with me right now, Jay Gregory from Bell Buckle, Tennessee, and he is going to tell us about some of the great stuff. The next great thing that's going on at Bell Buckle is moon pie.
RC Cola moon pie, yeah.
RC Cola and a moon pie.
Yeah.
Biggest moon, won't y'all have the biggest moon pie in the world
That's
there
right.
that day?
That's right. They'll be cutting it and passing it out. Y'all come down. Y'all come down.
Well, do they make it a little bit bigger every year to where it keeps being the biggest and the biggest and the biggest?
You know, I can't answer that question. It's just big. I don't know. I don't know if they make it bigger each year or not, John. I'm not sure.
What kind is it? Is it the chocolate or the banana or
chocolate?
Chocolate.
That's the original.
The original moon pie.
Yeah. It's a good one. We've had a couple of new developments, since the last time, of course. Russ Taff, all of you Gaither homecoming folks will remember Russ as he was in the Gaither gospel vocal singers with Gaither. Well, I'm getting tongue-tied here.
And then did he work with Elvis as well?
Well, no, but the group he was with, the Imperials, used to back Elvis up, and then he went with them when he was younger. And they won 3 Grammys when he was with them, and then he won 3 more Grammys when he went out as a contemporary Christian artist on his own. And he's won numerous Dove Awards, and then he was back with the Gaither vocal group, and they just did a thing in Gatlinburg, the Gaither Homecoming, and it's a wonderful show. But they're new residents in Bell Buckle now. They're our neighbors. So,
all right.
So we made them the Moon Pie King and Queen this year, and so
gotta have one.
Gotta have one, and they moved into town just in time. So we're proud to have them. They're nice folks.
You talk about folks. You talk about a marketing fool. This guy right here, he picks up on that stuff. Got a new guy moved to town who's got a little fame about him. They're the king and queen.
That's a big deal, small town,
Sure it is, man. Sure it is.
And they are a big deal too, by the way. They're really he's a singer now. I mean, that guy, he's got some pipes. But I wanted to mention too that that evening at the Moon Pie Festival, the last thing we've got at the Moon Pie Festival is a big schedule. But then James Anderson and his group are playing on the backstage at 4 o'clock, and then at 5 o'clock we start the International Folk Festival. We've got 80 kids coming in from all over Europe, from Turkey and different countries, with their bands, and then they've got their costumes, the local turkey costume. They're really kind of elaborate looking things. They're going to dance and sing and play. And then Russ Taff has agreed, he's helping host the program, and then he's agreed to sing a few numbers himself. So that'll be a real treat.
My goodness.
Yeah, it won't be a full concert, like what it does, but just the fact that he's going to do a little something at the banquet hall there and Bell Buckle is fantastic.
Now, what's the date on this again?
It's June 15th, Saturday evening. Moon Pie is all day, starts early with the 10K run and then runs through the day with all kinds of activities. When you come to Bell Buckle, they'll give you a schedule of events.
And they can go on the Chat and Chew? They
can go on the Chat and Chew. They can go on Bell Buckle Cafe and find all kinds of information.com. But I want to mention that night also with Russ Taff, Valerie Smith's going to be the American contingency, and she's going to do a full set with her band. Okay. And so it's going to be and then afterwards, a lot of these bands will just sit and jam. They're flying back to Europe the next day, so we're going to have a little party for them, feed them. It's going to be a lot of music.
Is the banquet hall going to be serving that night as well?
It's $10 to get in for the folk festival and the music and all that. It's $15 if you want to eat the buffet. Yes, there'll be a buffet, but it's $15 extra. But you don't have to get the buffet to come and enjoy the music, okay?
Yeah.
But I encourage everybody to come and support these kids. There's 80 of them coming from Europe. Let's be a good ambassador and make them welcome. So please come on by and support these kids.
Well, we'll get you back again before this takes place.
I'd like to talk about it one more time.
Okay. Jay Gregory.
Thank you, John.
Bell Buckle, Tennessee, my buddy. And you need to go down there and eat with these folks because it's the best food in Tennessee. We'll be right back after these messages.
I thought Red Cross does Katrina. They don't help single moms.
Hi.
What happened to our house last year about your birthday?
It flooded and the water flooded out. Yeah.
The Red Cross arranged the hotel for us. They gave me that break, that leverage to be able to get it together and take care of them, I feel like we've come full circle.
Like that. This is how I'll do it.
There you go.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
A salute to the Never Wasters, the Coupon Clippers, Switch Flippers, One Last Drop of Milk Drippers, the Thoughtfully Thrifty, and the Just Plain Cheap. Charter respects your economic IQ and honors it with a phone service worthy of your ever-watchful wallet. Charter Phone, just $19.99 a month, for real monthly savings for fabulously frugal folks like you. Switch to Charter Phone and get unlimited local and long distance and 13 calling features with no extra fees like the phone company charges you.
right, folks, we're back, and I mean, it just goes from one great thing to the next here. I'm here with a group of folks from the Moore County Library, and again, your name?
Betsy Anderson.
Betsy Anderson, and that's Peggy Gold over there. And who are these two lovely young folks?
This is my granddaughter, Marcy Batchelor.
This is my grandson,
Luke Gold.
Luke. All right, Luke Gold. What's going on at the library?
Well, we're getting ready for summer reading. It's at our library. Now, it's at all the libraries in Tennessee, part of the collaborative summer reading program. At Moore County, we do it on the Wednesdays in June, every Wednesday in June, for children this age, from tots that sit on mama's lap up to about 5th grade. We have every Wednesday at 10 o'clock. We have various programs. Sometimes we have guests in. This year, we've got our program set up. The theme is Dig Into Reading for the little ones, and it's about dirt or most little
ones know about dirt.
They do. And our very first week, we're going to dig in and plant something. And so for the 4 weeks, we're going to build terrariums. They're going to get to watch them grow. They'll get to take them home with them. We're going to have someone in that's going to have reptiles, talk to us about different animals that live, that burrow underneath the earth and do things in there. We'll have somebody from soil conservation come in. They have a little tunnel that they call it the earth from the earthworm's point of view.
Oh, yeah.
So the kids get to go in there and see, kind of looks like they're under the earth, like the earthworms dig.
Right.
And that looks like a very exciting thing. Luke's already, I think, experienced that at the farm day. They had those folks visited there, and that's where we got the idea, because Peggy and I were there also, and said that looks like a great thing for summer reading.
Okay, now this it's on Wednesday. Now, what time does it start on Wednesday?
It starts at 10 o'clock. And
goes until?
We're always done by 12. We like to have them ready to go. Now, some are a little shorter, some are longer, depending on what we do. Some days we do a craft, and so it might go a little bit longer. Like the day that we're going to have the gentleman from the reptiles, we probably won't do anything but have the program and a snack. So we might be through a little bit earlier that day, but they can hang around till noon if they're old enough to be dropped off. We tell them to get back there and get them by 12.
Well, listen, this is wonderful. One thing that I'm sure everybody in Moore County knows, but not everybody in all of our viewing area knows, is where is the Moore County Library? Moore
County Library, we have one big stoplight in Moore County, and we are right there on the corner, right through the main drag through Moore County. 17 Majors Boulevard is our address, but you can't miss us. If you come through Moore County, we have a marquee that sits out in our front yard, and it's got library. That's right, and then what we're doing, and we'll have stuff about summer reading.
You'll probably have a banner out there or something.
Yes.
Or balloons flying or something to let people know where it is.
Well, and of course, it's always free. It's at the public library. I'm sure that Coffee County is also doing something. I believe they have a program Wednesday afternoons.
Right.
We also have something for our teens, and the theme for that is Beneath the Surface. And for the teens, and we're all together but separate, the middle school age and then the high school age. And we're having them on Tuesday nights from 5 to 7. So we hope
So y'all are just busy.
We are. We're trying to get something for everybody, and then we're going to have an adult reading program. And it's going to be much briefer, of course, because you can't get adults that have to work to come every single week. But in August, after the kids go back to school, we're going to have an adult program.
And that will be at night?
Yes.
That will be at night.
And it's probably going to be on a Tuesday night. We don't have those dates set for sure yet, but we will also have that on our marquee where the adults can know.
And what type of material will be used for that?
The adults, the theme for them is called Groundbreakers, and right now we're pretty sure that we're going to read, all of us at the library, read a book and try to focus on one book and have a book talk about it. We'll also might have some games, like for the teens. For them, you got to have games and stuff. They like a little bit of action. The little kids can be entertained without necessarily being as active
all the time.
It's strange that the little ones can actually sit still and watch something better than the teens can.
Yes. Yeah, I understand.
But they just like to be involved in stuff. And so the adult one, we haven't chosen the book yet. It's not really set in stone for sure what we're going to do with the adults yet, but we're hoping to get some interest in an adult reading program.
Yeah.
For the first time, we're going to do a family night.
where parents and children who don't have access to us in the daytime can come at night. And that will be...
That's June 28th. That's a Friday night. We're not normally open on Friday evening, but that's when our like she said, our family night program is going to be.
That's great.
Trying to hit all age groups, all genre.
And June is the big month. I mean, you know, with school like it is nowadays, kids don't have just 3 solid months of summer anymore.
No, it goes by quickly.
Yes, it does. So we do it, and if once July gets here, they're starting to do things like football and band camps and all that. So June's pretty much our big month for.
So are you two out of school right now yet? You out of school? When did you get out? Last week?
Last Friday.
Last Friday? So it's summertime for you, huh?
Yay!
Well, I'm glad. I hope you have a lot of fun and a good, safe summer.
What's your favorite part about summer reading, Marcy? Crafts.
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 Yeah, they like to
make things.
Love to make things that they can take home.
All right, folks, we appreciate both of you.
Thank you for having us.
For the time you put into helping our young, middle, and old people enjoy reading, because it's a very, very enjoyable thing.
Thank you.
And you just come back anytime you need to.
All
okay?
right.
All right. Folks, we'll be back after these messages.
Here at the International Dateline, Charter scientists are bringing you tomorrow's technology today.
Good morning, Doctor.
Morning. Like the nation's most powerful internet and TV in HD with free DVR. Record your favorite shows to watch on your schedule, anytime in the future.
Good morning, Doctor.
Get a free DVR when you bundle and let it all in.
All right, Jim, we're back. Flags are flying. What a day full of entertainment.
I'm telling you, I like it that way, and you know, there's great information disseminated here today. We're going to go now, I think, to the City of Manchester Memorial Day celebration, which was yesterday, and a great celebration indeed.
And again, our thanks to all of our veterans and our military people out there for the service you give our country, and all of us each individually. The freedom that we have, we owe to you.
All right. Well, let's go to that video. John and I are going to say goodbye now. You have a great week.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Ms. King, for that wonderful rendition of our anthem. The gentlemen who helped raise the flag are with the Coffee County Sheriff's Department's Honor Guard, and the 3 gentlemen standing behind are veterans representing the Veterans of Foreign Wars, the American Legion, and the DAP.
First thing I want to say is, again, a thank you to all the veterans out there who served faithfully to our country, and particularly I want to say thank you to our Korean and Vietnam War veterans. You know, all of our World War I, World War II, and the veterans of our current wars came home to most often a hero's welcome, if not many thank yous at the airport and elsewhere. But our Korean and Vietnam War veterans did.
We owe it to our heroes that died and their loved ones left behind to make sure that their sacrifices are remembered and their service to this nation will also be honored. May God bless them all.
We gather today in honor of the brave heroes of our country who have made the ultimate sacrifice. It's because of their resolve that we are able to enjoy the lives we live today, the lives we've grown accustomed to here in America, living free from tyranny and fear. Today we honor our fallen comrades of the United States military in the form of remembrance, and with it comes a deep sense of appreciation for their selflessness in protecting the land of the free and all they've done to ensure it stays that.
The saying that they gave all their tomorrows so that we could have our today is never more true than on Memorial Day. More than 1.2 million Americans, men and women, have perished as a result of military conflict. But because of their sacrifice, we live in a society that even our most desperate enemies admire. Who knows what these men and women could have attained? We'll never know what was lost. But without a doubt, many of them were destined to have a tremendous impact on our lives and on society. Their ideas, their knowledge, their skills, the very uniqueness of their